Hello, in this video we're going to talk about graphing lines using x and y intercepts. So what does that mean? It means that I'm going to take my x and y intercepts, which are 2 points, and I'm going to plot them and connect them. Why can I do that? Because it only really takes 2 points to graph a line, so I can use those 2 points and then make my graph. But first we have to know what is an x-intercept and what is a y-intercept. So I wrote it out for you here. An x-intercept is going to be the point on the graph that crosses your x-axis. And remember, this one right here is your x-axis. It's your horizontal one. So wherever your line crosses your x-axis, that's going to be your x-intercept. You'll notice it occurs when your y value is equal to 0. Your y-intercept, on the other hand, is the point on the graph that crosses the y-axis. Remember, the y-axis is the vertical axis here. So this point on my line that crosses my y-axis is my y-intercept. And you'll notice it occurs at x is equal to 0. So to find your x and y-intercepts, to find the x-intercept, you plug in 0 for y. And when I'm doing this, when I'm writing out my problem, I write x-intercept and I always write y equals 0 so that I remember, oh, that's right, I'm plugging in 0 for y. I plug in 0 for y in my equation. I then solve for x, and then I make an ordered pair. Whatever the answer I got in for part 2 where I solve for x, it becomes my x value, whatever that is, comma 0. And that's my ordered pair. Then I'm going to find my y-intercept. When I find my y-intercept, you want to plug in 0 for x, and I always write it this way. When I find my y-intercept, that means x equals 0. I plug that in, then I solve my equation for y. Whatever I get in this part here, I'm going to use that and plug into my ordered pair here. So I have 0, comma, whatever I got in part 2. So we're going to do an example so you can kind of see how this works. So I want to graph by finding the intercepts. So I'm going to find my x-intercept, which occurs at y equals 0. So that means I'm going to take my skeleton of my equation. So I have negative 3x plus 5 times, I'm plugging in 0 for y, equals 15. And I'm going to plug in 0 here. The nice and convenient part about it is 0 times anything is 0. So this just automatically goes away and leaves you with an easy equation. Negative 3x is equal to 15. Now I have to get x on a side by itself. This says negative 3 times x. So in order to undo times or to undo multiplication, I have to divide both sides by negative 3. And I get x is equal to negative 5. Remember, it's negative because a positive divided by a negative is a negative. Okay, so I get x is equal to negative 5. Don't forget to make that ordered pair. Negative 5, 0. Okay, then I want to find my y-intercept. My y-intercept occurs when x is equal to 0. So I'm going to make up my skeleton. So I have negative 3. This time I'm plugging in a value for x. Plus 5y is equal to 15. But remember, we're plugging in 0, and 0 times anything is 0, so this just goes away. So I'm left with this easy equation. 5y is equal to 15. 5 times y is equal to 15. So to undo times or to undo multiplication, I have to divide both sides by 5. And I'm left with y equals 3. So because y equals 3, I have my ordered pair. X is equal to 0. Y is equal to 3. Now I'm going to plot this point and this point. So negative 5, 0 gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 0 here. And 0, 3 gives me 1, 2, 3 here. Whoops, that's right there. And then I'm going to graph my line like so. That's pretty close. And it looks like that. And I'm going to just make these points a little darker because these were our ordered pairs from our intercepts. Remember, this is the y-intercept, and this was my x-intercept that I found and graphed my line. Let me know if you have any equations. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.